Good afternoon, everyone. This is another one of my President's videos. Very excited about this video. I have a special guest with us, Kevin Forsch. He is he has a new role. He's our Director of Student Development and Engagement. And I believe how long have you been here, Kevin, at the college?
I've been at the college since November of 2010, so coming up on 11 years.
Yep. So a few more years than me. I've known Kevin, well, really, I think you were one of the first persons I met here at the college.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin, tell us about your new role. I know you've always had a really wonderful passion for helping students, helping as a success coach and other various roles. But tell us about this new role. What is this all about?
Well, the Director of Student Development and Engagement, kind of a vague sounding job title, but what that means in real life is that I get to work with student life, so student activities. I get to work with student organizations. I get to work with career services. I get to work with our prevention, health and wellness. I get to work with our student affairs, diversity and inclusion team. I get to help manage our food pantry and other basic needs services. And I get to work with the deans of students on the different campuses in making sure that NSO happens. So kind of that full breadth of the student experience, I'm kind of lucky enough to have a role in. And it's really something that's exciting. That's been a challenge to try to learn all these new things, but it's been a whole lot of fun so far.
Kevin, are you working directly with students, or are you sort of more on the programming side? So for example, I think there's a new program, I think you referred to it as Spire.
Yep.
Well, maybe you could tell us about that and how you, maybe you're not working as much one-on-one with students, or maybe you are, I'm just not sure.
Sure. I'm not working quite as much one-on-one with students as I was in maybe like a student success coach kind of role. But I do get to see and work with students just about every day. When it comes to students who are looking to access the food pantry, when it comes to students who are, trying to finish their orientation and have questions about that, when it comes to students who want to be involved or want to take on leadership roles, I get to work with them there. And you brought up kind of that model of Spire. It's really big in the deans of students kind of world, but the way that we really model our services is around what we call a spire of wellness. And that spire means your spiritual wellness, your physical wellness, your intellectual wellness, your relationship wellness, and your emotional wellness. We all want to provide services to that because those are sort of the different areas in our life where that wellness is really important. So when we work with students, I can use the example of working with Learn to Dream students earlier this summer in the Dream Lab. This Dream Lab is kind of just a half-day workshop for students to get prepped for the start of the semester. And we kind of talk to them about what does it mean to have wellness in all these different areas of your life, and to be successful or to feel like you actually belong at school. You need to sort of feel connected to others. You need to be in tune with your own wellness. And if things are kind of out of whack, or you feel like you're not meeting either your physical wellness or your emotional wellness, it's up to the college or us as those student services areas to help you get connected to those areas of wellness for you. So that's where we offer our services.
So it sounds like that Spire strategy is very consistent with our goal 9.6, which you heard me talk about this morning at the Lincoln Campus In-Service. I think that one of the things I did bring up this morning was that it's fairly common when I'm talking to employers that they will tell me one of the things they really want us to work on, even more so than technical skills. They feel like our graduates do quite well there. And it's not specific to SCC, but they said, these graduates, they want to make sure they have strong life skills. They want them to be able to work well in groups. They want them to be able to take criticism in a non-defensive way. They want them to be emotionally intelligent and to be able to talk to all types of clients with different backgrounds and views and ideas. So I think that is very important that we have strategies like Spire. So tell us, how long have you been in this position?
It would be almost a year
Okay.
that I would be in this position. Yep.
So what are some of your thoughts on when you think about student development? We're looking at adding housing on the Lincoln campus. We're rolling out all of these new facilities. How do you think what kind of role do you think modernization is going to play in student development and engagement?
I think it's going to play a huge role in what we're able to offer in terms of being able to really link students to their campus and to their program and to their own personal development. I think even though I work in student affairs and I may not be in a classroom every day, I really do view myself as an educator. And what I hope to offer students or have be able to provide in terms of opportunity are these things that you talked about, places where students can learn more about themselves, how they handle stress, how they have opportunities to reflect on how they deal with criticism, or what kind of engagement or what kind of opportunities do they want. We want them to work well with other students in terms of leadership and maybe like student organizations, but also in terms of understanding other students and other populations and other types of folks who live in our 15 county service area and around the world. And when we do programming for our wellness, we want to think of wellness as more than just our physical wellness and going to the gym. It's about, how do we look into ourselves? How do we understand how stress shows up for us, and at what point should I be asking for help, and how can I ask for help, and where does that help exist? And that's what I'm really excited to offer, because the more we have students here for housing, or the more we have students who want to be on campus for our great, not only our great programs, but also our great buildings and facilities. We want to make sure that while they're here, they also feel engaged, and we have services that kind of meet the needs of what they're hoping to develop and what employers and other folks are hoping to develop.
So one of the things that's happened since I've been here, Kevin, is we've gone from, we were probably more of a commuter type campus. We've now created a lot of spaces for students to study, to interact, multiple spaces. We have a course restaurant, we've got Cafe Commons. With the new health science facility, there's purposely placed student interactive spaces on both ends of the building. So we're really encouraging, and we've seen it. We now have students that maybe they don't really have the best situation to study in their apartment or in their home, but we have places, and we're seeing them now stay all day at the college. And one of the things I was going to ask you, and I think you're right, I think it's a great thing, but we have some really wonderful services and programs for our students. For example, we have the CAPS program, where we work really closely to a student that might be struggling, whether it's psychologically or in some other way. So we have these great programs. And it sounds like you're sort of the connector. You help kind of connect all of these programs. Is that a fair description of you?
Yeah, and I think, and I wouldn't say that I'm the only connector on campus, but I do like to think of myself as that connector, because I also have the food pantry in my office. We are that point for students who are here on campus all day and need a bite to eat between meals, but don't have kind of that regular, reliable income to purchase a meal every day or pack something. And so between myself and Kalika Jansen, who directs our counseling center, we are those connectors to folks for other services.
And Kevin, we're a no question, sorry. We're a no questions asked food pantry, is that correct? So
absolutely.
We just want to be there for the students. And I think that's great that we're offering that.
And the same goes for every campus as well. Education Square, Milford, and Beatrice all have food pantries that operate in the same way. Yeah.
Great, great. And I think we certainly want our students to feel comfortable. I always like to think of it, a student might think that they're asking for something, but actually, you know, one of the greatest gifts you can give someone is the opportunity for them to help you. It really is wonderful. I know when I ask people for help, I can tell that I'm actually giving them a gift.
Yep, absolutely.
There's something about helping people that is just so rewarding. Speaking of which, we probably need to wrap this up, but I think that ever since I've known you, Kevin, you have such a passion for helping students and specifically working with those that might be struggling. What is it about Kevin that makes you so passionate about helping students?
You know, that's a great question. I come from the southwestern part of Nebraska. I grew up in Stratton, Nebraska, which is a really small town. And you know, when I went off to college at UNL, I noticed that a lot of my friends who I really thought were, you know, as smart or as ambitious as me, didn't have those same opportunities to either study where they wanted to, or go to school, or because of whatever things that they had going on in their lives, they didn't have those same kind of options. And the more that I kind of reflected on that in college and looked at it, I really kind of felt more of a calling in that service area and that education area. And it's something that's kind of carried me to now, quite a few years later. And I think it's been a great path. And I think it's been working at an institution like this that wants to help you provide those type of services, and really makes it a priority by building spaces that are accessible and that encourage that level of access. It makes it really easy to kind of keep that passion about this work. So I think that's why I show up every day.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time with us this afternoon, Kevin. Kevin is a very funny person. Do you have anything, Kevin, to make us laugh?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a 3-year-old nephew who's really into knock-knock jokes. Okay. And so if you wouldn't mind playing along, we could do a knock-knock joke.
Let's give it a try.
Okay. So Dr. Illich, knock-knock.
Who's there, Kevin?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Boo!
Oh my goodness. You know what? I am laughing so hard on the inside. I'm probably going to have to go to an internal medicine doctor for this interview.
Yeah, I apologize.
It's kind of funny what I just said. It might have been funnier than that, whatever that was that you just did.
I
you know what? To a 3-year-old, I bet that would be really funny.
Excellent. It goes over super well. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be in that impromptu group of Dave Matan Matan and Schmitter. Mm-hmm. Those guys are good. Well, thank you so much, Kevin. Not so much for the joke, but for everything else. The joke is fine. I asked for it. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add for the SCC team?
Sure. If you are interested in donating to the food pantry, there is a link available on the SCC Foundation webpage. And you can designate your donation to all of SCC food pantries or to a specific campus. And we would and students would appreciate any kind of gifts in that direction.
Perfect. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Goodbye to everybody. See you later. Thanks for watching this video.